Hello there guys, and welcome to day 5 of the Epic Ride Home updates. A very interesting day and a very contrasting day. This morning started with my appointment at 9 o'clock with the shipping company to start going through all of the paperwork for transferring effectively the ownership of the bike over to them so that they could export it from Alexandria in Egypt to Salerno in Italy. We have been out of the office for the majority of the day. I was told it was going to take 2 to 3 hours. I wasn't expecting, although I shouldn't have been surprised, that it ended up taking nearer to 6 or 7. So we've had to go down to a variety of legal offices today, and from what I could understand from the broker and translator that we actually used to sort this paperwork out, what I have effectively done today is created a power of attorney, signed over my legal ownership and decision making skills about the bike over to the shipping company so that they can take it down to the port and they can sign all of the export paperwork and the deregistration paperwork on my behalf. That was a lot of sitting around in stuffy offices with lots of Egyptian people arguing with each other, with the office staff, with the government staff in the counters, and it's just basically passing the time until I was required to come up, show my face to prove it was the same person in the passport, and provide a signature. The second half of today was far more enjoyable. I've been contacted by a local Egyptian guy who made contact with me on the Ducati Scrambler Owners Facebook group. Whilst I was riding from Cairo to Alexandria yesterday, I spotted a guy in a car on the highway sort of suddenly slow down, and as I looked across to see what he was doing, I saw him with his phone in his hand, and he's taking photos, or he's recording, or he's doing something. I didn't really think anything of it as he then decided to go speeding off. But then I was sent some photos of me on my bike riding through the desert, which was a bit strange actually. But as it turns out, the guy who was taking the photos is a member of the Ducati Owners Club of Egypt. He is part of a WhatsApp group which contains most of the Ducati owners in Egypt, and he posted up the photos and he was asking basically, whose bike is this? Who is this guy? And the general consensus was it was not one of them, it was a foreigner, because everybody knows who's got Ducatis in Egypt, it appears. So then one of the guys remembered seeing one of my posts about my trip from Saudi Arabia to the UK, and he went and had a look and he realised it was me. And as a result of that, he got in touch with me on Facebook, and this afternoon I have spent my time in the company of two rather pleasant Egyptian chaps. We have been hanging out. They've both got Ducati monsters, and tomorrow was going to be my day off. It's the weekend, it was going to be a nice quiet and chill day, but as it is, I'm now going to be going out and joining a load of Ducati Owners Club Egypt riders for a little ride out along the northern coast, which I think is fantastic. I genuinely, it's brilliant that this is how social media can work. All right, I am a motorcyclist bimbling across the world, and yet I've been spotted. Somebody's recognised me from something they've seen on the internet, and they've gotten in contact with me. And like I say, I've spent the afternoon with these two guys, and they have been absolutely brilliant. I cannot speak highly enough of the two lads and their hospitality. I've met their families, and we've just hung out. We've been talking bikes, we've been talking cultures, we've been talking a little bit of politics, we've talked a little bit of religion, which normally are no-go topics when I'm in Saudi Arabia, but you know what? Conversation was flowing, we were all on the same page. It was fantastic, and it's great that biking and social media can bring parties who would otherwise pass like ships in the night without even knowing that anybody else existed on the same sort of mindset as them. And I've gone from spending my 6th day alone to I'm actually going to be socializing and going out and meeting other like-minded Ducatisti. But it's not about the brand, it's about biking in general, it's about social media, it's about making this massive world that little bit smaller and bringing some people together. And I think that is absolutely awesome. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really relieved that, you know, something good is kind of coming from this whole adventure, from the social media side of it. I think it's awesome, and I hope you guys can share in my joy at the power of social media, I guess. So there's still some paperwork left to be done to finish off on Saturday morning. As I say, tomorrow's my day off, but I'm going to be spending it on a ride, so there'll be a nice cheeky little vlog from that one, I think. And then Saturday morning, I need to go back down to the transport company's office, and we're going to head off down to the customs, the docks, and we're going to try and get this missing piece of paperwork. So I'm going to temper my enthusiasm a little bit. We're not fully out of the woods yet. This is not done and sorted just yet, because basically without this piece of paperwork, my bike will not be getting exported. But we've made some positive progress this morning, despite the sitting around and more excessive bureaucracy. It is what it is. There's no point in me getting wound up about it, because ultimately paperwork is what makes sure that everything's done correctly and above board. I'd be really knocked off if I made all these arrangements and I flew over to Salerno, because that's where I thought my bike was going, and actually the paperwork said it was going to Greece, or it was going to Portugal, or it was going back to the Middle East. Because of a paperwork cock up, I'd be pretty annoyed if the boot was on the other foot. So I'm not bothered about the day sat around. It's not a problem. But hopefully Saturday will be the last of the paperwork, and assuming we get that sorted, no, we are going to assume I'm going to get that sorted. I will be handing the bike over, and she will be setting sail to Italy on Saturday, or ready to. So thank you very much. I hope you guys are enjoying the updates. Please keep your comments, your likes, your retweets, your favourites, and all the rest of it coming. Please keep sending me your messages. I know the worst is over, but I still enjoy receiving all the messages and the comments and the positive thoughts. So thank you very much, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's Q&A. If you haven't got your questions in already, stick them in the comments box below, and I'll try and sneak them in the end of the video that I'm planning on doing. Thanks very much, guys. Masalama.